There aren't many people that you meet, that change the music scene like you did. Now we have a really special treat for you. And Brian, I want to plug your album that's out. It's called Imagination.
Thank you.
And it's wonderful. If you guys don't have it, you need to go out and buy it because it is just a breath of fresh air. And this is a song that's on the album. You want to talk about Lay Down Burden a little bit, Brian?
Yeah, my brother Carl died in February of this year, and I went to the piano and wrote a song all about that. It's called Lay Down Burden.
Howdy diddly do neighbors, my name is Pied Piper and welcome back to another video, and today I want to talk about an album that I love. This album is called Brian Wilson, Imagination. Now, let me give you a little bit of rundown of, the lore. Basically, this is the 90s. Basically, Beach Boys, they're not going to release any album in they're not going to release any album up until 2012. So this is a solo Brian project, which, if you know, I like when Brian Wilson does his own shit, I don't know, he has made a couple of albums that I really like when he does it all by himself, and I really enjoyed this. I never thought I would enjoy a Brian Wilson solo album because I always thought I would miss the Beach Boys, but I enjoyed this a lot, and I'll run for a couple of tracks that I like, and maybe you're gonna listen to the album. But yeah, if I had to describe this album in a couple of short words, this would be summer. This whole album has such a cheery yet sad mood. Like, you know how summer can be sometimes, so bright and so fun, and it can also turn really sad quickly, or it has that underlying like, I don't know, something like it gives a really big summer feeling, right? And this is one of the albums that while I was writing like my notes for this, I thought is a Brian album. This album is a Brian album, the same way like Pet Sounds, Love You, and Your Imagination. Those are the three Brian albums. I would also like to count Smile and Adult Child, but I don't know. They are nothing like this album and any of the albums I mentioned. They're their own beasts, okay? This album is pretty cool because it also has a documentary made about it, and I really like it. I call this also more of a Brian album because I call this more of a Brian album than the first Brian album because that had a lot of interfering with Dr. Landy, and honestly, haven't gotten into that album. I'll be honest right now. So let's just quit the app and go for the first tracks, right? The first track we have is Your Imagination. Just as I said at the beginning, this sounds like summer and fun, right? This is an absolute bop. When you're gonna hear this, it's gonna get stuck in your head. I absolutely love the schnitzels out of this. It was amazing. This also sounds like a track that Brian had a lot of fun making because this had a lot of cool instruments in it, Oh, and let's not mention, every track that we're going to talk about is going to have good instrumentals and good vocals. If you know anything about music, that's like peanut butter and jelly, okay? I really love this track. This sounds like an amazing single. I don't know if it was even released as a single, I'll be honest. I should have probably looked at the wiki. The whole track is just awesome. It oozes of like summer and fun. This album, now think it could be really compared to Sunflower, right? I think this is the most Brian project that is similar to like Sunflower. I think these albums are very similar. So if you like this album, you're gonna like Sunflower. If you like Sunflower, you're probably gonna like this album because both had a lot of Brian work on them. So yeah. Also, talking about Sunflower, the track This Whole World, at its ending, it had these backing vocals, and they're actually used again in Imagination. Now, they're not the same. That they're done the I don't know how they're really called specifically, but they're used again in the same way. And I remember when I first listened to this track, I was like, this is a backing vocal out of Sunflower. So I immediately was like, well, do I really hear it? And yes, I hear it. It is there. It's really cool, isn't it? Next track we have is Sherry, She Needs Me. Now, this track is packing a little bit of lore. This track originally has went through many names. Terry, She Needs Me. Sherry, She Needs Me. She Says She Needs Me. I actually read it wrong. She Says She Needs Me. I don't like, that's the worst title out of all of them. The funny fact, the instrumental of this track, the first version of it, was created in 1965. Then Brian did his vocals for the first time in 1976. And you can actually hear it on Spotify. And now Brian completely reworked the song. Now, originally, I actually like, the basic track that I heard that was recorded in 1976. I like it. The instrumental was lacking. It really sounds like a diss track. Like Brian listened to that and says, what if we do more? He killed it with the vocals and he killed it with the instrumental. I don't know if it's an orchestra or a string arrangement. I'm not a professional in there. But what my ears hear is pure-hearted bangers, personally, right? I love the string arrangement. It feels almost as good as like Pet Sounds level, because it's so precise. It sounds like Brian, every 5 seconds Brian added something, he changed up, and the vocals, the backing vocals, god damn it, they're so good. If the original track from 1976, I'm sorry, had basically just Brian singing, this one had everyone singing, and I love it. It really feels like Brian had a lot of fun making this track, and it is an absolutely amazing track. I'm not even going to try to tell you that it's not. Go listen to it. It's a great track. It's well written. I love how way it's written. One thing that I do miss is the part where Brian hums, and that kind of sucks, you know. Also, in my opinion, Sherry still sounds better than She Says She Needs Me. That's kind of awkward to say, but Sherry, She Needs Me sounds a little better, but it's Brian. I still fucking like it. Also, I want to mention, I did a mix where I put the 1976 vocals onto this instrumental, which you can go check out if you want. Link in the description. But yeah, let's go on to the next track. Next track is Next track is South America. We're gonna get to Where Has My Love Been. This track is like Imagination, but more, I would like to say. Your Imagination. This track is like Your Imagination, but I think more fun. This track is about South America and how Brian loves South America. You can clearly tell it. He has looked at a couple of postcards and he's like, that place seems amazing, the government seems stable, there are no coups, drug trafficking is not a real thing there, there's just hot girls, and I love the South America, I love it. You know, it really sounds like Brian just looked at his very fictional version of South America, which is fine. I have never been to South America, maybe it is like that, I don't fucking know. All my Brazilian, Argentinian, Paraguayan, Uruguayan, Bolivian, Peruvian, Colombian, Surinamian, Guinean, I forgot this nation. And all the indigenous people, please in the comments down below tell me how South America is. I bet it's just like this track. The track begins with a ooh, ooh, ooh. I love it. That's just cool. I love when Brian like does like a sound that's taken from somewhere and just perfects it. It appears multiple times in the track and it's been stuck in my head. I love it. I also think it's a thing from South American movie music, but I'm not sure about that. I listen to no South American music at all, so what the flip do I know, right? Also, that whole instrumental, like, it seems like this is the closest we're gonna get to Pet Sounds in the way of instrumentals, because these are hella good instruments. It's like Brian has taken everything, putting them in the exact correct place where it's meant to be, so that no instrument doesn't serve its purpose, so all of them have their spot, and it's just amazing. It's pure joy to the ear. I love listening to. It's amazing. What can I tell you, right? Again, good backing vocals. I mean, it's fucking Brian, the god of harmonies. What can you expect, man? And one thing that I also love is the paparazzi line. So the line goes, let the paparazzi flash, let the tabloids scream. I've been around too long to care what anyone says. I'm hungry and I'm doing lunch with Cameron Diaz. I did not even know that was a line there. That is the most fucking Brian line I've ever heard in my life. Just we saw here, this track is fun. Brian officially says, I don't give a fuck what you say. I'm just thinking about South America. I don't care what you think. You listen or you don't. And hey, just like Red Blue, I'm picking Blue. I'm listening to this. It's an amazing track. I love listening to it. Great vocals, great instrument, fun theme. Really, Brian, I love this track. This is amazing. Another track for the summer banger, okay? I just some of your love. I love this track, okay? Next track, we're bringing the emotions down a little. We're making it a little sad. Actually a lot more sad, is Where Has My Love Been? Now, if you know Beach Boys lore, if you have followed the Beach Boys through history, you know that this band has one fucked up lore. There have been darkest points, highest highs, the apple juice incident, you know, there have been, you know, the cocaine sessions, which sound to any normal person like a schizophrenic man talking about an imaginary band, but it's all been real and it's documented. And I really see this track as Brian Wilson talking about how down he has been, how horrid life has been, and him asking, where has my love been, right? Where has his passion been, right? When I think of those lines, I immediately think of years like 1980, 81, years where Brian has been, documented to be in a really sad mental state. And it's really amazing that Brian, gets it all out. And what's one of the greatest parts, and by the end he says, that he has found love, that he has found peace, and the ending is amazing. Come dream with me again. Like, you can tell that this is just really amazing, like, written, ended, and really well. I think this is one of the best written tracks on the album. It's a really deep track. I think if you don't even know Beach Boys lore, you can relate when you've been down in life. Amazing, but it adds that little spiciness. Also, I love the little vibraphone at every time where the chorus ends, like, I don't know how it happened, but that, like, little vibraphone, I love that. Another showing of Brian Wilson taking a random fucking instrument, putting it in, and making it fit perfectly. The man has gotten the title of genius for a reason. Okay, we're gonna skip a couple of tracks and go to Lay Down Burden. Lay Down Burden, it's a really sad track. This track is written about Carl Wilson passing away. Carl Wilson passed away in... I don't know this. I don't even know precisely the year when Dennis Wilson passed. Wait, let me look that up. Died in 1998, and when was Imagination released? I think... it was released the same year. Also, Your Imagination was a single. I'm sorry, I didn't know that. I should have probably known that. So Carl Wilson died in the 6th of February, and the album was released in June. Yeah, so like, it's really sad, I think. This is a track that really gets to me. It's, again, I'm just gonna say, great instrumental, amazing vocals, blah 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 blah. It's, he's gonna do that. He's gonna cook on the vocals, right? This track is really well written, right? It's really well written in the way that it's not specifically saying it's about Carl, but you can tell that it's about Carl. Brian Wilson is amazing at writing in a way where he's not telling you what he's talking about. Somebody's talking about someone else, but you know the feeling. I think I could make a video talking about that on the Smile album. But I absolutely love the chorus, the way it's with so much respect. You can tell that as brother, he meant the world to him, and it's really sad that, cancer got to Carl. It just sucks, The guy should have survived to this day. Imagine a modern, Carl Wilson solo album. That would fucking rock, okay? It's a great track. I really love it. I listened to it. It's also, if you, again, don't know any Beach Boys lore, it's amazing to saying just lay down your burden, It's about, and Brian said he laid down his burden, in the documentary. It's amazing, and you can't do a service, right? This is like trying to tell you why God Only Knows is an amazing track. You don't know until you listen to it, and then you're gonna know it, because it's such a great track. And it's the same with Lay Down Your Burden. I think that I cannot really tell you what specifically is great about it. I can tell great instrumental, great vocals, but you're gonna pick the parts that are most memorable in your head, and you're gonna love those parts. I've skipped Keep an Eye on the Summer, Dream Angel, Cry, and Sunshine. Honestly, skip those tracks because those are the tracks I listen to least. But I think if you really want to delve deep, please watch the documentary. It's an amazing documentary. Any documentary about the Beach Boys, I'd probably watch it, okay? The Beach Boys mastery here. This album is a great album. I think this album deserves to be known more. This album really seems like an album like Brian had fun. He put his energy, everybody supported him, and it was just amazing. Like a push in Team Fortress 2, everyone needs to work to make this album work great, and Brian is the leader, and if the leader can do it, he can do it. I love the lyrics, I love the vocals, I love the instrumental, and I love how Brian it is. So those are 4 things on top of many actual things specifically that I like, and I think you're gonna like it too. It's a great summer album. It's very colorful. It's an extremely colorful album, very joyful. So yeah, I listened to it, and yeah, thank you very much for watching. And I don't want to throw away stuff on my new camera, so bro fist.